Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Traveling Crafter and Friends, our little time together to craft and chat. And everyone take a second and say hello to our guest, Meg from Chasing Retro. Thanks for being here, Meg.
Thank you. I'll say hi for a second.
Yay. She got all the high-tech technology figured out today. That was, I was getting lessons.
Not by myself. It's my IT support.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, as always, along with our guest Meg, are our friends Carol from A Crinkled Path
Hello.
and Carrie, the Paper Monkey.
Hey guys. Hey everybody.
And we've just been chatting behind the scenes until it was time to go live. So, Meg, what are you going to be working on today?
I am working on the ties for the recipe journals. So I have some tea-dyed fabric here. And then I'll be cutting out, y'all know, all the little pieces for the snippets to sew down later.
That's awesome. But those are so fun. Like, do you oftentimes, if you're watching TV, do you work on things like that?
I do. Sometimes, so these scissors, these pinking shears, they have like the rubber grip. And if I'm too distracted, then I'll cut so much that I've literally rubbed blisters that bleed. So I have to do them a little at a time, but
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I have yet to find a good pair of pinking shears that I endorse. That's for sure. None of mine work very well.
And they're extremely heavy too. So
Yeah, they look like they are.
mhm.
Wow.
So I have a question. I have a crafting question already because I'm very interested in this. How do you I know how you tea dye the material, but you literally how long do you soak it? Like these are the details that I need. Like, is there a limit? How does that work?
No, I mean, you would be surprised.
It doesn't
Meg,
take for some cottons. I mean, this is muslin, I think, which is kind of already that color, but I wanted it darker. And I literally pushed it in there and then pulled it out.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you don't, of course, you don't wash it. Do you just let it air dry, Meg?
Yeah. So I have an old fashioned clothesline like grandma's used.
I do too.
I just hang it out there, and if there's streamers, it's real pretty because you can watch them blow.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't put them in the dryer or anything.
Okay.
You know, my grandma used to. That's how I learned. I mean, this was long before I ever did paper or junk journaling. But she used to tea dye fabric a lot, and she did wash it and dry it afterwards because she used it in her quilts.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that it still kept. I mean, I don't know if she used detergent or if she just maybe she just dried them. But that cotton really takes to it, doesn't it, Meg?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna remember that because I've been watching some stuff lately on just tea dyeing and different things like that, and because nobody tells you, I was listening intently too, trying to figure out, well, how long do you just leave cotton? I deal with paper, so I guess it's kind of the same concept, but I was wondering about that, how it would take to material. I guess you just watch it to see how dark you want it.
Now there are some fabrics that it just won't, especially like synthetic lace.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some other ones that they just don't take to any kind of dye.
Yeah, I was gonna say that shiny looking lace. I cannot get anything to dye. I've tried adding heat. I've tried adding vinegar, like you do with Easter eggs. Nothing.
Yep. Yeah, I've had the same luck with that kind. Although I did have one the other day that I tried that I thought it would, it kind of had that slick feel to it. And it actually, that one worked, but I've never had success with other kinds of laces like that.
Yeah.
Well, that is fabulous.
And the thing is, just try it. I mean, what are you going to hurt? Test it. Just have a good time.
Like everything else in junk journaling, it'll be a happy surprise.
That's right. If you mess it up, well, I'm sure there's a solution. Use it for something
Who else?
else.
Oh, look, Bonnie's here. Bonnie's with us. Hey, Bonnie. What?
Susie's here.
Cindy's here. Very. And Susie. Yay. Oh, and
Well,
Kay
welcome everybody.
Borland. Hey, Kay Borland.
So if you guys are just joining us, this is our time each month where the three of us hang out with a special guest. And today we have Meg with Chasing Retro. So be sure to hop over to her channel as well as Carol and Carrie's and give them a little subscription because they're amazing individuals and very talented young ladies. And yes, I'm saying young ladies.
Jenny's
call myself
here.
a girl.
Guys,
Hi,
let me yeah, did y'all see Jenny was so close? Jenny, what how close are you now to your 1,000? Did you make it yet? We need to help Jen out.
Oh,
Oh yeah, guys, Jen's at 990.
Oh gosh. Well, today we're gonna make it a goal to get her to 1,000. We'll have to pop up her
I'm going
channel.
I'm looking for it now. Got it. I'm on it. Let's see, believe it or not. But you gotta watch me now.
You gotta watch what you're up to there, girl.
I know. You never know what kind of shenanigans.
So I'm interested to hear. We're gonna do some giveaways today. So be ready for that. Both Meg and I have something fun to give away, and we'll send it off into Happy Mail to you. But I'm curious. While Meg and I are working on our projects, I am very random. I just started my fifth journal and this morning, and so I'm just making some more pages for it because I haven't got that far. And as Meg said, she is working on her ties. But I'm curious what everybody else is working on in the comments. And Carol and Carrie, what are you two working on? Well, we know what Carrie's working on. I'm jealous.
What Carrie's messing up over here. I'm trying to figure this contraption out. Carol, you tell them what you're working on first.
I'm working on typing something in the chat.
Carol is focused.
Listen, if I actually just bought,
I think for some reason it keeps restarting for me. So sorry if you can't hear me.
Okay, we'll just pause. Carrie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Teresa, she's lost her light box.
I have my desk covered with felt.
With felt? That sounds fun.
They're felt people.
Oh, felt people. Wow.
Like the flannel.
Yeah, and I'm putting them into country kits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But they're not Bible people. They're, more people from the 50s, really. But I'm trying to put them into my country packs.
Ah, nice. So, Carrie, tell us about your little contraption that.
So, I am fascinated with fabric. Shocker, right? For everybody that's on here. Love fabric. So, I love yo-yos. I got some yo-yos in Happy Meal. Now I'm in love with yo-yos. So I watched Angela's video on how to make a yo-yo. And I said to myself, your fingers will never work like that. So I went out and I talked to Uncle Jeff at Amazon. And he has a product it's basically a yo-yo maker. Well, I mean, you still have to sew it together, but it's two pieces of plastic that you put inside each other and you sandwich the material between, and you can sew it like that because it's got little holes in it that make all your stitches even. So I'm just trying to practice with it now. I've already screwed it up. So
Well, you got some
But
time.
that's a user error. That has nothing to do with the product. I promise you.
Right. You've got some time. You know, we're hoping, we're rooting for you. We're rooting
I
for you.
just opened the package. I'm going to let y'all know. I may do a video on it if I don't have all these finger pricks, you know, that I have to hide. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
You got this. You got this. That's awesome. Ooh. Well, this pattern, I thought I would be able to save the whole thing because I really liked how it looked, but I'm very gently trying to cut this apart. And my lighting is not very good. I've been complaining about it for a month. I finally ordered an alternative light source for above, so we'll see how that works out. Dave's like, he came down today and he said, they make those LED lights that I put in way better now. He said, you can get them on Amazon. I said, well, how about you hike your happy butt right upstairs and order me some of those and have them speed delivered before you leave so you can install them.
Meg, when you cut down your fabric like that, your pieces, is there any rhyme or reason? Do you small, big, square, rectangle, or do you just cut?
Yeah, I try to vary it. I don't know why I tend to love to do these. I don't know what that shape is called. Yeah, I love squares.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to have little pieces to go in a gap, so I try to vary it a little bit.
Do you glue your pieces down first? Like, do you tack them down in any way, or do you just sew?
I do, which I can't do on a live sale sewing, so I'll probably will glue. I really don't know. Maybe y'all can help me. I don't know. I usually do this, but I like using this better, even if it's just a dot. I just can't stomach the price.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
I really wish I was, I guess, talented enough to be able to, like, some people can just lay the thing and just feed them as they sew. That blows my mind. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, it's not called talent. That's how I do it. It's called crooked. It always comes out crooked.
Yeah. I think I was going to say, Meg,
a finger.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. But if you want it to be straight, then that might be a problem. Mine are not usually straight. But I'll tell you, I play games with myself when I'm sewing a lot. Like when I make ruffles, I see how fast I can feed it through because I just use my scissors to push it through, and then I see how fast I can get the pedal speed to go without making it crooked. And it doesn't last very long, but it keeps me entertained. Well, I mean, I have to play these games so it's like not boring when I'm sewing all those things together. I'm not that good at sewing anything other than straight lines, which are usually not straight. So
Is Ryan with Teresa?
Yeah.
All right. Hi,
well, welcome, Ryan.
So
What's Ryan working on? We'll have to see what Teresa says he's working on. We better be careful. We might ask him to come and be a guest on the show, Teresa.
Special guest Ryan.
Ryan, yeah. So Meg, how many journals did you end up? Because you were working on. Are they all cookbooks or are they varied? Because I know you wanted to do a kitchen one.
I'll just bring my tray and show y'all.
Oh yeah, yay.
Okay, these are the ones that will be going. I think, yeah, these are the 4 that will be going in my shop. These have the pages in them, but they're not decorated. So, well, this one is, but the rest of them aren't. So, this small one, the little French one.
That's so cute.
And then the junior cookbook. Those are both ring bound. This one is ring bound and it's done. And Carrie, I think this is the one that you sent me.
Oh, look, it is. See, crooked. It's crooked. See,
I love it though. So that one's done. And then I have one of the binders, the 3-ring binders, which I prefer working on over these rings. They make me want to cuss. But yeah. And then I
Well,
have
things don't turn very well, do they?
no, they don't. I have another Butter Homes Gardens that's a custom, and then another one of kind of like this that's custom, that's not at my desk. So
Nice.
that's
Lot.
oh, and then mine. I'm trying like a dummy. I'm trying to do mine at the same time. So I'm doing 7.
Golly, Meg.
Wow. Wow.
Aren't you just an ambitious little crafter? Good for you.
Yeah.
Aren't you ambitious?
I finally got my
yours is going to be really. I can't wait to see what yours is.
About
your
4 days
what?
ago, we were finally able to eat supper at the dining room table again because until I get
well,
I have to have them all.
I was worried sick about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I hope company doesn't come over because she's going to be scrambling. They're all
yeah,
going to be
unexpected guests pop by, but not for a meal, thank goodness.
Just say, well, take a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and that's going to be your placemat, and here you go.
I was like, if you're really my friend, then you will keep coming after you see my house like this. So
that's right. That is right. I know, and I have a problem with like having. I need to get over it, but I just have to clean up after each time I'm in here, and then I spend more time organizing than I do crafting sometimes. It's frustrating. And it still doesn't look like I have done anything.
Right.
Bonnie doesn't like the ring binders. I think it just, for me, golly, I guess they can impede things. I've only used the metal ones. Aren't there some plastic ones out there in the world? Do you guys know? Aren't there plastic book rings? Have I seen this, or are they just colored?
They're plastic.
I think Meg had
them for flashcards. They're good for flashcards.
Oh,
are they? I've never owned those, but I thought you had some of those, Meg. You like them then, huh?
I do. I've not made a journal with one yet, that I know of. But the reason why I did the rings with the cookbooks is so people can add their own stuff. That's really the only. I've tried little goldens with the rings, and I was like, I'm never doing this again. But the cookbooks, it makes sense. And I wish I could afford to buy a bunch of the already made binders. But y'all know you used to be able to find them for $3 and $4. Now they start at $25, even at thrift shops.
What does?
The Better Homes binders.
The binder ones.
I think people finally know that we're looking for them.
Yeah. Driving up the price. Hey, we have a couple of questions in the comments too, guys. Let's see if I can go back here. I'm not being a very good commentator. Let's see. Jenny said, I watched some of your personality kits the other night, Meg, but haven't finished yet. They're too cute. And then Teresa wants to know how you came up with your name, Chasing Retro. This is a cute story.
Okay. So I started my Instagram account first, and it was way before I even knew what junk journaling was. I just love to go look for things that are retro. Even when I was a kid, I would ask my mom, can I look at all of your stuff from high school and college? I just want to look at your yearbooks. I love looking at it. I love looking at fabric that's old and stuff like that. So I really started out just going to thrift shops looking for, like glassware and comforters and even clothing. And if I saw a yard sale or a estate sale with stuff from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, I was like, I chase after it. I chase after retro. So that's kind of how that started. And then when I started junk journaling, I was like, well, there's no need to change my name because I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm still looking for retro. So
that's super cool. I love that story.
I do too.
So if you scroll way back on my Instagram account, you'll see free junk journal pictures of things that are, Christmas decor and stuff like that.
Awesome.
That's so cool. That's when you know it was kind of meant to be, right? Like it's just
Mhm.
kind of everything is it's just organic. It's just natural,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
for
that.
sure.
I love that.
Hey, Lori.
Oh, hey, Lori. All right.
Great to have you here. I hope you're doing good today. So how before you did junk journals, I think I should know this, but before you did junk journaling, you did other arts and crafts things, right?
I did.
Yeah,
Um,
and
when the kids were growing up, I did scrapbooking. So that's kind of where my love of paper came from. But I also got really into making, and I'm going to say this wrong probably, assemblage. Is that correct?
that's right.
Okay. So the little paper dolls that you put inside of a pie tin or whatever.
Right.
I did those for a couple years and sold them and gave them to friends. And
That's what I love doing those. In fact, that's what I was going to do for Christmas instead of journals this fall, but looks like I'm doing journals.
yeah.
I'll
And
probably do assemblage too because I did prom. What?
Okay. So sorry. Go ahead.
Carrie said something and I missed it.
Not me. Mm-mm.
Oh.
Nope.
No, go ahead, Angela. Go ahead.
Oh. So what were some of your favorite things that you did for assemblage that you liked? Did you have any?
Yeah, I really like doing the Christmas and the Valentines. I love the Valentine colors. And
Yeah.
I do like a little child with the pipe cleaner body and put a little dress on her.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I bought some of those, Meg. I haven't used them yet, but what do they call them? They're the ones the pipe cleaners that have a specific name and I can't remember what they're called. But they used to make the vintage little things that ornaments and such out of, and they're kind of wide and then skinny. You know what
yeah.
I'm talking about.
Yep. Mhm.
And I bought those for that intent to make some things. My favorite is Easter and Christmas. And so I was like, oh, I'll make a bunch of bunnies. And then I bought that stuff and I never did it. So I need to try that, but I'm sure you probably have a lot of experience with those.
I did buy some of those, and they're hard to find. I
Yeah.
think I ordered them from like Cherry on Top Crafts or something.
No, I don't even know where I got mine. But I think my biggest problem at first was that I didn't really know what I was searching for. Like I knew what they were, but I didn't know what to call them.
Mhm.
And like I said, I still can't remember what they were called. But yeah, that.
Hey, Ange, Susie
Yep.
Allen wants to know what you're working on.
Oh, so this is the fifth journal. Remember, it was going to be a Christmas journal, and it was that red and silver one, but I ended up giving that one away at a giveaway, and then I decided to do the sewing book. It has a little, owie there, but I think it's going to be okay. So I had not done anything, so I just put some pages. I hadn't started it until this morning, so I don't have much there. It's just I'll just flip through it. It's just kind of blank pages, and I just grabbed from what I had. What the good news, and I bet Meg and probably Carol as well can attest that the amount of sewing and fashion and 50s and 60s, mostly for me anyway, when you have a tote and you just continue to kind of lift the tote lid a little and then slide things in it,
Yes.
you recognize that you have an overabundance of what you have. So I was lucky enough that I did have some stuff made, which was great. And then it made me kind of excited to get back to doing Sewing Notion Sunday because first of all, I miss it, and I took a pause when I was doing the 100-day challenge, but I had so much ephemera already made, so that was wonderful. So that's what I'm working on, Sue. Zicky. Hey, Terry.
Gigi's
Hey,
here.
Gigi's here. Awesome. Maybe they are just called chenille stems. Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, you know what? Ryan wants us to know he lost his tooth.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Is it his first lost tooth?
I don't know, Teresa. Is it the first one?
That's a big one, Ryan. Wow. Congratulations, kiddo. Thank you, Bonnie.
Susie got the coolest bag of sewing notions at the Goodwill the other day. Susie, I'm jelly.
Oh, fun. Look at these ladies.
Oh, they're
This is
pretty
from this-
awesome.
I know. I had to back them. This was very fragile. It's like from the, I think it was from a magazine from the 30s.
Are they wearing slips? Is that what they were wearing? Were they wearing
Yeah.
slips? Yeah.
Yeah. On slip.
Golly.
48 cents.
48 cents. But I mean, if you want to get really fancy and have some rayon satin flowers on it, 89 cents each. So.
Oh, double. Oh.
So watch out. Watch out, girl.
Oh, it's his third, but the first up front one. So,
ooh,
I know. Here we go, Ryan.
that's bragging rights right there. Now everybody can see it. Now you have to figure out if you can spit through your front teeth. Sorry, Teresa. I'm giving him bad ideas, but every kid's got to try it.
All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth.
Hey, Carol, that vintage seam binding that I got, that I put in the shop. I don't know where she must be on mute.
She is, yeah.
I used it in this today, and oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. Look what you did that. Is that just glued down, or did you sew that down?
This was this particular one, and this one, as you can tell, it's wonky because I did not glue it on. I just slapped it on there, and then first of all, this one I did a straight stitch without the paper to make the ruffle, and then I was like, I'm just gonna zigzag it right on there, and then this one I straight stitched right on the page. But I really like the feel of it. I don't know. It's just, and I don't know. I wonder what they use this for, because it's all of them are all striped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like at an angle, like the red one. The red one is the one I have least of. It's just a small roll, but kind of looks like candy canes. I don't know what they used it for, but
Carol's voice is stuck backstage, she said.
Okay, let me get Carol back up here. I thought she was just ignoring us. Add to stage. There's your voice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm answering, and I got kicked out, and now I'm backstage. Technical difficulties. I have a feeling my daughter and her husband are on some device, and so it's making it a little difficult for me.
Are they watching Netflix?
Probably. They're doing laundry.
I'll have my husband call them and tell them about that.
Yeah, right. Tell him. Tell him what the consequences might be.
Let me have my honey call them.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, poor guy.
I know. Oh, let me tell you, for a long time, a lot of people just thought his first name was Poor, because when people would meet us, they would just be like, "Poor Ross. Poor Ross." You don't
Bonnie-
know already. I'm the one that's wound tight in this relationship.
Bonnie's asking what brand of glue stick you use for those quick tack downs before you sew.
This is Avery.
Yeah, I use the Avery.
Mm-hmm.
Have
And it
you
doesn't-
always used that as your glue stick, Meg?
I've tried is it Uhu?
Yeah, I've tried it too. I don't like it.
This one is just, I don't know. It is, if you get it on shiny paper, it's really hard to get off. But I think it sticks better. So
yeah. I don't know what it is about the Uhu. I don't know if it's because the humidity here is so bad. I don't know. But I was not I have tried it a whole glue stick, to be fair to the product, but it didn't work. The Avery glue stick, I actually started using that because, you know, Rebecca Hoot uses it. So I figured if Rebecca used it, I could use it.
Well, where do you get a because Avery the brand, like Avery labels and stuff like
just
that.
the Avery.
Okay.
Yeah, just the
So
Avery.
this
I
is
just
a
found it
large
on Amazon.
it's like over 1 ounce, and you can buy 6 of them for about $7 on
Yeah.
Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to try those because that is a brand I haven't tried. I would say
Now,
the
and
stuff from.
it's not. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm so
No,
sorry.
go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
It's not colored, right, Meg? Mine is just
No.
a plain white. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I gave this Dollar Tree stuff I thought I'll give it a go. You know, I'm open to trying something. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
So it's not
I've
something
never tried it. I saw you got it the other day. I've never tried it.
I think I have one more stick after this one left, and then
Mhm.
I'll go. My favorite is Scotch Create, but Bonnie, I think Jen said it too. Pretty much I think any glue stick would be just fine on, as long as you're just tacking it down. It shouldn't. But I would wait until it dries completely.
Yeah.
I have been impatient.
If you don't let it dry, it gums up your needle.
Yeah.
Carol, do you use a glue stick at all? I can't remember now in your videos if I ever saw you with a glue stick.
Yeah, I use the Craft Bond for paper, especially if I'm doing paper to paper and I'm doing a large area.
Yeah.
But I pretty much use art glitter glue for most things.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I do like the Craft Bond.
Does anybody out there use is it Barely Arts? Is that what the other one's called? Barely Arts? Because I've never used that one.
Me
I've always had the art glitter glue.
No, never tried it.
I haven't
They
either.
claim it's the same as glitter glue and cheaper, but I've seen some comparisons and I don't think people think it's exactly the same.
Okay. Yeah.
And the other thing that I've heard, I have never tried it, is that it has you have a little more lead time with drying. Like you get a little more wiggle room to change things around.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's just what I've heard. I don't know. I have never tried it.
Bonnie likes the Barely Arts. She likes that brand. I just have never bought it. I've just always, art glitter glue is what I started out with, and it's just kind of what I've stuck with.
Yeah. I love my Fabri-Tac. I use that probably more than anything.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what happened. Angela, tell me again, because you said this before and I couldn't remember, but I had a bottle of Fabri-Tac it didn't solidify, but it was close. So I added some acetone to it, but it's like I had to add a lot. Like I started off with a little, of course, because I didn't know what, and I just kind of kept adding and kept adding. I was like, oh my goodness. So
that's now how is it working okay?
Out. Yeah. I'll probably need to put some more in it.
I wonder why. It could just be your. I wonder why you had to add so much. It could just be.
You know what I think? I think it's because it was outside and it wasn't temperature control. If I had to guess, because isn't the Fabri-Tac something that they won't sell? Like they won't ship when it's too cold, and Yeah.
Mhm.
I would,
Yeah.
if I had to guess, it's probably the temperature. Probably did something to it.
Have y'all tried this one? Combo?
No. Do you love the Tombow?
I do, and I keep forgetting that I have it. Somebody gifted this to me through
I
my
saw.
Amazon.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that video.
I love it, and I thought it was gonna be expensive. When I looked at it, I was like, "That is not bad at all." So,
I feel like I have. I'm gonna see it. I think I
I've
might.
kind of forgotten about that one. I used that when I was doing Bible journaling
yeah.
because it's
'Cause
got
I love
both ends, right?
Yep, 2 tips, and I love the Tombow brand, like, I love their brush pens, but they're pricey, so I was assuming this would be pricey too.
Yeah,
Hey,
Susie and
hey,
Jenny both love that.
hey, Meg, do you know what's on
Sandy's
the
here.
Meg, do you know what's on the agenda after you're done with your cookbook journals?
Well, I was telling, my husband earlier, I said I wasn't gonna do Christmas journals this year. Not that I don't love Christmas, I do. There's so many more, like, stacked up behind. But I pulled down my box from the attic of Christmas journaling supplies, and I'm like, it would be a shame not to. Like, I have so much. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know people love them. They're just I think they're like the height of nostalgia for a lot of people, me included. But, yeah, I'm just gonna do 2 or 3 Christmas journals, and then I don't know. I mean, they may be finished on December 24th, but, we made. And after that, I'm not sure. I do have a couple more customs, but I try to, like, stagger those with things I need to put in my shop too. So,
Nice. I'm
Very.
still waiting for giraffe journals.
I was looking at the file the other day, I was like, "Okay, we have enough for a small journal now. Okay, let's keep going."
Well, I'm serious about chatting with you about sending some more things and having you do one for me for my husband.
Okay.
So we'll work that out. When you're ready to do yours, let me know.
Sure.
Hi, Sandy.
Hey, Sandy.
Oh, talking about Christmas journals, I have to give a little channel shout out to Tammy from Texas Sweet Tea Treasures. If you all saw, I don't know if any of you saw this morning, she challenged her husband to decorate a journal because he made some offhand remark about, oh, how easy it is to make journals, assuming it is to make journals. And so she actually made him the journal, but then he had to decorate it. And they flipped through both one she made and the one he decorated. And you have to go vote in the
That's
comments
right.
which one. It's so fun to go see what they did and what he did. It's cute.
I just had started watching it, and then I was like, oh, I got to get on here and do my thing. So I didn't get to see all of it, but he was just starting to flip through, and he was doing a great job.
I gotta go
Yeah,
watch it now. I got
Yeah.
it on my saved list. I gotta go see it.
for sure. Hey, are we almost ready for our first question?
I think we are.
All right. We're gonna
Oh,
give you
wait, I got to go up here. Hold on. No, we're not.
oh,
You can start talking. I just got to I got to put it in there.
okay. So we're gonna ask you to share in the comments, but we want you to use hashtag retro when you answer because that's what we're gonna put in our picker to find out who the winner is. But we want to know, since we have chasing retro, and you can very much tell by what Angela is working on that she loves the 50s and 60s. What is your favorite decade, whether it's fashion or design or the the music of that decade or whatever sparks your fancy with a decade? What's your favorite, and tell us why? But don't forget to use hashtag retro before your comment to get put in the drawing.
There we go. Oh, I'm punching. I hope you guys can't hear that too much. You should see my floor. It looks like we've had a New Year's Eve party here with all the
Let me show y'all what I use to clean up my little, have y'all seen these little mini vacuums?
Yeah, but that one's cuter than a bug's ear. Ha ha.
I love this little thing. I mean, it struggles. It's not the most powerful motor in the world, but it gets all the little threads off the desk.
That's awesome.
Cute.
I just bought, I don't think I've ever showed it. I just bought this little guy, which he plugs in and he's rechargeable. Um,
Oh.
and I did get this at Temu. And it works really well because there's spots, I sweep every day, but some of those little, when I'm making the binder journals, those little punches, hole punches, get in places that I can't otherwise get with the thing. It works good, and it works good on the top of my desk too. So
We're getting some responses. So Susie
yeah.
says she loves the 40s for fashion and advertising. And Terry says retro 50s, the music, the food, aprons, and old stoves.
Ooh.
And let's see. The preppy crafty girl, that's Jonna, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves the 70s for the colors, the music, and disco. Love
Of
it.
course.
I'm a 70s girl too, but that's because those were my, under 10 years, and I just have great memories from then. Teresa said she's a 70s hippie child. She said she used to sign every letter, "Look, I am a hippie, LOL." Oh, and she's going as a hippie for Halloween again for the third time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sandy, you are our old soul. Wilhelmina Sandy says she loves the 20s.
Oh,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I always thought it would be wonderful to live in the 20s, have lived in the 20s and been a woman, because it was so, they were making such strides as women in the 20s. And
You
there's
know
a there's a fantastic, well, you have to, I don't think that they have it, it's like voiceover, it's not closed captioned, or it's not whatever they call that. It's called Cable Girls, and it was originally,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and
dubbed, right? It's dubbed because it's
yes,
from
it's
a
dubbed.
different language.
It's from, I think it was filmed in Spain, maybe, or maybe,
Yeah.
but it is a wonderful, I loved that series, and I
Sweet.
think Sandy, well, you would like that too.
I've watched a couple of those. Carrie and Lori are both retro 80s girls. I love the 80s too. Carrie said she loves the 80s because 16 Candles came out then.
Oh, that is a good movie.
Isn't that a good movie? And Jake was
Mhm.
so cute. I
For
was in love with
sure.
him. He was so cute.
And Lori loves the 80s for music, fashion, and big hair.
That's for sure. The more Aquanet, the better.
That's right.
I
Tease
was
to Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I said I love the 80s because it took me from junior high to getting married. So lots of big changes in that decade for me.
Wow.
Let's see. Bonnie loves 50s, 60s, 70s for fashion and music. Ryan says he likes, Teresa said, Ryan says he likes the 2010s.
That is very retro. Yeah.
Because his birthday.
That's right. I get it.
Teresa, you got to put yours in. Or did I already read your other one? Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie's here.
Hey, Stephanie, I'm glad you made it.
Stephanie, we're answering the question, what's your favorite decade and why? And you use hashtag retro before your answer if you want to be in the drawing. Wilhelmina says Sandy says she misses Aquanet.
Let me
can
tell you
smell
what's
it right now.
Let me tell you what's a close second to Aquanet, because I use it because I'm a rebel like that. Got to be You hairspray. It's the yellow can. It's close. It's not Aquanet, but it is close.
Ah,
That's
cool.
good to know.
Oh, Texas Sweet Tea Treasures. Tammy is here.
Her ears must have been burning.
Yeah, because we were telling you to go watch and vote after this on their Christmas journals. Let's see. Anybody else? Jen's Junk, 80s definitely the best movies. Tammy says retro, the 40s. She likes the 40s.
Awesome.
My daughters had to be in a 40s, like they do a USO show every year for their orchestra and the choirs and band and everything at school. And I did the big victory rolls in their hair and took photos. And I told them I think they were both born in the wrong era because they made
Oh,
amazing USO girls.
Yeah.
Well, Tammy's making Mexican wedding cookies.
yeah.
I love
Okay,
those.
now she started with the food. I didn't start with the chocolate. She started with the food this time.
We're blaming Tammy today. It's all Tammy's fault.
Jen says she loves the 1800s because there's the best books.
Ooh, well, that is very true. I can't decide what I'm going to do right now at this moment. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you guys while we're having more answers come in. I wanted to show you a couple books that I have that I think you guys might want to know about. Related kind of to what? But this one is one of my favorites. I've had it forever. It's called Shoes by Linda O'Keefe.
Oh, wow.
Great for a fashion journal.
Look at that.
Yeah, and the cool part about it is, like on this one, for example, I pulled out the entire thing. So I think they're just the nice size that you can make this a pocket, and then you can open it up and still have kind of some goodies to look at. So that was one of them I really liked.
Like that?
This one.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's called the Museum.
Kitschy stitches. Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
It's really funny too because it's kind of tongue in cheek. It says, "Welcome to the Museum of Kitschy Stitches, home of the most notorious knits in the world of handmade fashion," and it's by Stitchy Me Yarn Pants. Is who it's by. Yeah. But she just kind of tongue in cheeks all of these things, but the images are fantastic.
How adorable.
Yeah. Look at that. Wow. Now that I could get right with, like, need to dye your hair? Put that on. Bad hair day? Put that on. If I looked like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at
this too.
If my cheek, yeah, this is me right here. That's what I would look. There you go. That's what I need right there.
Oh, but
there's a reason I don't show my face on camera.
Right. And then there was one other one. Where was it? I think I've shown this one before. It's called The Fashion Book.
And I haven't seen it. Oh, that's
well. I almost bought it again the other day because I went to Half Price Books and I was like, "Oh, I should pick this up." And I'm like, "I'm pretty sure I already have this book, but I should still pick it up." And then I'm like, "No, put it back, Angela." But it is really cool and it goes by all kinds of trends, like, it's got the Edwardian, the Victorian, Bohemian, retro tomboy. Look at your hairdos, Carol.
Oh my gosh, look how cute.
Look at now. Here's for our 80s girls, the Madonna days. That, but it's really a fun book.
Hey, Angela, Tam's asking, do you have a date when you're doing the Vintage Uprising Texas sale?
Yes, that is on the 29th. So it is my first, well, it's not my first sale, but it's my first collaboration with Tammy from Vintage Uprising Texas. And she invited me to be a guest. It's kind of like a hop. So every half an hour, a reseller gets on. They sell their items for a half an hour. It's recorded. It's not live. and then they pass it on to the next person. And I go at, I believe it's, I think 5 o'clock or 5 o'clock Eastern. So no, I think it's 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central Time. Um, and I'm bringing a lot of vintage and mostly vintage. I don't think I have too many antiques. All fall and vintage Christmas. So I'm excited. I've already got it all staged. I need to record it, but um, yeah, my whole living room looks very, very fall-esque at the moment. So thanks
And
for asking me.
Sierra just dropped in. Hi, Sierra.
Hello, Sierra. I gotta decide what I'm gonna see. This is I do this all the time, and then I'm like, oh, what should I work on now? I'm a little skeptical. I have a question for you, Meg. On
Yeah.
your or for anybody that has done binder journals, that's kind of my favorite thing to do. But how many pages do you think by the time you end up finished with a ring binder? How many pages do you think you have in them?
So I kind of cheat and I go watch other people's to
Uh-huh.
see if they do a page count. And I feel like it's either one of two things. I feel like a lot of them said 48 pages, no more than 48. And then one maker, it might have been Carla Frizzell, might have
Uh-huh.
been, she said 84. But then I was like, I wonder if that's back and front because that would be about the same.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank you, because the reason I ask is it really depends on that shabby chic journal that I did.
mhm.
Oh heavens, that thing is busted. I mean, it is, but I'm pretty sure I did the same amount of pages. I think my ephemera was just, I had a lot of it and I put a lot in it. So, I usually do, I think probably 65 to 75 pages. I think it just depends on the journal, but after that one, I'm kind of being a little conservative right now. So I'm like, huh. Because look, now it closes so nice.
Yeah.
And I haven't put any, fabrics in it yet or anything like that. So I don't know.
I love to add stuff to mine. So
I
I'm gonna
know.
be like super conservative because it's gonna end up not being able to close at all if I
Yeah,
don't limit.
I know. Well, mine closes. It's just real chunky. And it's only that one. I'm trying to grab some stamps here. I feel like that page needs something.
Hey guys, we're almost at the top of the hour, so maybe we could do our first drawing. But
I'm
if
right on it.
anybody else wants to get a hashtag retro answer in to get entered in the drawing, like Sierra who just jumped in, just put your favorite decade and why after hashtag retro.
And I'll get it pulled up here and then.
Yeah, Sierra is asking if you're gluing paper or fabric, Meg.
Oh, let me
You just
zoom in.
came in.
This is a fabric like a muslin strip, and I'm putting pieces of like from my scrap basket on it to sew later to make a tie.
All right, I'm just waiting for a couple seconds to see if anybody else comes on in.
Last chance for answers. We'll do another drawing. So if more people come in, we'll ask another question.
Right,
Retro, sorry.
And Meg, since you are our guest, would you like to do the first giveaway?
Sure thing.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit the button to see who is going to be our winner. My favorite part right here. Terry Hayball, congratulations.
All right, congrats, Terry.
Hey.
Yay,
So I
Terry.
have a set of 10 vintage handwritten recipe cards that I got at an estate.
What?
Yeah, one of them has the little, the cute little things.
Oh, look how I love those colors.
Yeah, got some green. So yeah, these are
Grandma handwriting.
grandma handwriting, and then you've got some really nice print in here. Like I call it teacher writing as well.
It is. You're right. I never heard that. That's a good one.
Those are precious.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Meg, and congratulations, Terry. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to attempt to stamp. This should be good.
And in case y'all were wondering, for all you new people who are jumping on, I'm actually working in the background on this yo-yo maker thing I found. And we're how far into this are we now, guys? Over 30 minutes, still screwing it up. It's supposed to be the simplest thing ever. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
It's all the user. It's not the tool, I promise you. But I'm going to figure this out.
well, I haven't heard you saying naughty words yet, so,
It's because I put myself on mute.
Oh.
Angela, Sierra wants the update on what you're working on.
Oh, I have started the 5th journal, the sewing, and it's a sewing journal, sewing/fashion journal. Really not anything to do with sewing. It's more just fashion. And I just started it this morning and got at least the pages put in. So I'm just getting started. So I don't really know exactly. I've done some ephemera. I've added some pages that while we were here today, and I'm just kind of going with with the flow at the moment.
Hey, I have a question for you guys, because I don't know if I know this. I don't know if I've ever heard it exactly. Like Angela, I know you've been acting like your brother, your mother, like it was just a part of your world, and art and all that. But like, how long have you been junk journaling? Would you say? I know you've shown me your first junk journal that you ever did. How long ago was that?
Well, I think I have a delusion. I'm delusional because I really don't know if it was 2020 when I didn't do videos then.
Right.
Or if it was somewhere in between 2020 and 2021. Now, I had done like art journals and collage books and things like that. But to actually do a junk journal, I know it was after 2020. I'm pretty sure. But then I go back to
how did you find out about junk journaling?
Well, I had created a course during the pandemic, specifically on the variety of ways to journal as it related to mindfulness and your mental health and things like that. Okay. And I knew about a lot of them, but junk journaling kept coming up, and so I was like, oh well, this is interesting. And it took me a very long time to create that course. I had not made a junk journal. So I'm thinking it must have been 2020 that I made my first real true junk journal, where I used, the stuff that I had at home and whatever, was lying around. And all I did when I did that, it wasn't really even a journal. It was, I put the pages together and I figured out how to sew them in. That was it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a official one,
Now, Meg, when did you start junk journaling? Because you said you were a scrapbooker. When did you start junk journaling?
I have racked my brain trying to figure out who the first person was that I saw make one, or when I first saw it pop up on YouTube, and I think it was Diane at Shawcraft One.
Okay, yeah, I watch her too.
Yeah, and that was during 2020, and I was like, oh, she talks like me. She's from,
Yeah.
near me. And reached out to her, and I was like, she had her email address, and I was like, I'm sorry, but can you please tell me what this is and what are you doing? And she was so gracious, and she emailed me back, and I asked her, how do I get started? I have no idea what all these words are that you're using, what do you mean? And she just really helped me get my footing and get going. And then I was like, I laid awake one night and I just kept waking my husband up, and I was like, why have I not found out about this until now? Like, I'm over 40. If I had known this existed 20 years ago.
See, that's what I keep saying. I keep thinking to myself, and everything happens for a reason, but I was like, oh, if they would have taught me this in school, oh my God, I would have been a better student maybe.
That's funny. Yeah, but I also think it's kind of interesting. Like, I know I'm not the only one that has like the time frame, and now it seems like I've been doing it forever, that like actually putting my finger on when I started, or seems like forever ago, but I don't really think it was that long ago, although it is almost 2024, for goodness sakes.
Meg, I stuck a comment up that Stephanie was giving to you. Do you see it on the screen?
Let me see.
It's in the big letters across in
Oh yeah, the vintage fabrics.
Yeah.
Yes. I tell you what, so a lot of these fabrics that I use that are vintage, so I lucked out one day. I went into my favorite thrift store in the whole world, and a little husband and wife own it. They're in their 70s, and I got to know them by first name. They're just sweet as they can be. And I walked in one day, and there was a tote, the big totes, the 2-foot tall totes, full of vintage fabric, and obviously a former quilter or something. And if the lady is there, she prices everything individually. But if the husband is there, he's like, I just want that out of my store. You can have it for this. And he said, I was willing to pay $50, okay? Because I knew what was inside. And he said, I'll let you have it for $10. And I almost died. And that was 3 years ago. And I'm still like, this is a piece of it. I'm still using.
Wow. That's amazing. Hey, tell it. I'm interested now. Tell us the story about your piano.
Yeah.
So I went to the estate sale because I knew they had sewing stuff. Turns out my mom was in choir with this lady when they were younger, so she knew her. But when I went downstairs, I kind of like stopped and was like, oh my goodness, there's a black piano. And I'm not so much like fixated on brands as I am the way a piano looks. I know that's silly. Obviously, I'm not a real musician because I just like, it's a piece of furniture also for me. And I saw it and I said, I bet you that is $500. I'm not even going to go. And my husband walked over there and came back and said, it is not $500. It is very affordable. And then the lady came up behind us and said, if you come back tomorrow, everything is half price. And she winked at me. And I was like,
Oh.
How much longer are you going to be here today? And she said, another hour or so. So I went home and I prayed. I was like, please, Lord, if it's meant to be, let me have this piano. I have wanted one like this for years. And sure enough, it was there the next morning. So
now, do you have a piano? Did you have a piano currently?
I did. But I did not like the way it looked. And it over time, pianos, I guess the keys just starts sounding like cymbals instead of a piano. It was not sounding good at all. And
so what did you do with the other one?
The what?
What did you do with the one that you currently?
It is in my garage. It's at Marketplace for free. So I don't know how long it's going to sit there, but we'll see.
But you got your new one, and does it play beautifully?
It does. It also needs tuning because it sat in a cold house after she passed away in January. So it's out of tune, but it sounds a lot better than my other one did. A lot better.
Nice. That's exciting.
I love that. I think it was a Christmas video one time you played for us a bit.
I'm not. I took piano lessons for 10 years, but I never learned to read music. And my mom was like, I keep paying for you to have lessons and you're not learning how to read music. And I was like, I don't know why. It's just, it won't stay in my head. I cannot. It's so mathematical. Like, it really is. If you're good at math, you're probably going to be good at music.
Well,
And I'm not.
I was just gonna say, there's my problem.
My teachers would get mad at me because they're like, what did you play this week? And I said, oh, I picked out the theme to Forrest Gump. And they're like, well, that's what sheet music did you play this week? And I was like, none. Yeah, I'm not trained. My mom can read music. My mom taught piano lessons. She is a true pianist. I just play for therapy and fun. That's what I do.
Now, did you play other instruments where you did read music, or in general, any music you just do not read?
I do. Okay, I can read music if I count lines and spaces.
Oh, got it.
But now my dad, don't think I've ever said this before. My dad plays the bagpipes.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
during the
cool.
pandemic, I was like, I want to learn something new. This is before junk journaling, right before. And my dad was like, why don't you try to learn to play bagpipes? Well, I bought everything that I needed to learn to play bagpipes. And then once I learned how to play the practice chanter, I was like, I'm ready to buy the real pipes. Y'all, I did. And I cannot blow them up. Like, I
Oh
do not
no.
have the lung strength to. I think there's a reason why mostly men play bagpipes.
That does make sense.
Yeah, there are a lot of women that play, but yeah, my husband just said they have a lot of hot air.
Well, most importantly, though, Meg, did you buy the skirt?
I do
all?
have, yes, I do have all of the. My dad made sure I had all of the attire, so I have everything I need. I just don't have the air.
So the thing is sometimes it's like when I play golf, the outfit, as long as I look cute, it kind of appears like I'm know what I'm doing. So you're all set, girl. You just
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure with training, like if I went and had someone train, because I know you could get voice training for air and all that, but I just don't know.
Yeah, that seems. I've always heard that the bagpipes are very hard to learn. Is that true?
They were for me, but I think it's because I also play piano. So I was trying to compare it, and my dad was like, "You can't compare it. Just put it in your head."
Wow.
I can't do that. So
There's something about bagpipe music that just is. It's just. It makes you just stop in your tracks, no matter where you're at when you hear it. I love it.
it is.
Wow.
Sarah's here.
Hey, Sarah.
New England Junk Journals.
Hi.
We've got a lot of, yeah, I mean, I am, so we got a lot of Instagrams out there, and I'm trying to catch up and go follow people. I never think about it. I guess I just don't, I have an Instagram, of course, but I don't utilize it like I do YouTube. I'm concentrating on YouTube. Kind of like what you were talking about, Carol, about Facebook. You started a Facebook, right, Carol? But you haven't done a whole lot on it yet, right?
Yeah, I did a Crinkled Path Facebook because I kind of want to go join some channels, and not channels, some groups. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
And I just think that would be fun. I joined Angela's group, and I'm in Teresa's group, and I'm friends with Peg Soursby from, oh goodness,
Craft Room Stories.
Yes, thank you. You're so good, Carrie. You remember all these things so quickly.
No.
But
I need to put Peg's channel on here. She's new, guys. If y'all haven't seen Peg,
she's new and she's funny.
She is funny.
And she's been creating for a while. You can tell by the first journal
yeah.
put up. It's not a beginner journal, that's for sure.
Yeah,
True.
that was a surprise for me. Like when I saw her journal, her junk journal, I was like, "Whoa, where has she been?"
I need to stop adding stuff to this thing.
I'm gonna plug Peg's channel in here real quick so you guys can check it out.
Angela, I popped a comment up for you.
Oh. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. I first had to find the stamps, which was a little problematic. I see, and sometimes we talked about this before, like maybe it was just Carrie and Carol and I, but I tend to get out, like, when that theme happens, I tend to get out everything that I think I might need, and I hadn't done that yet. But in other situations, it kind of can get overwhelming. So, how about you, Meg? What's your strategy when you are going to start a theme of journals or a journal?
I think you said that you have to clean up first. I do too. And it's funny because I'm not a super clean person, but I feel like I have to have like a clean visual space when I start. By the time I end, it looks like a tornado has gone through it right after a hurricane. But yeah, I have to start with a clean slate, and then I have to get everything off my desk that stresses me out that I didn't finish before. Like,
Yeah.
if I feel guilty about not finishing the previous project, I won't do good on the new project.
I know, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then do you go through and do you source for that whole journal and then get everything out after you've cleaned everything up and then keep it out?
Yes. So when I source, I think that's where journalers lose money, because to me that takes the longest. I mean, it really does. I have all of my books jammed in a cabinet in my dining room, and it's like 3 or 4 layers deep of books. And so I pull them apart, and it takes me probably 3 or 4 hours. So I don't source for just one theme. So I'll say, today I'm going to get out everything that's Christmas, baby, and fall. And I just get everything that I see.
And then put it on your dining room table.
Yes, I do.
I don't need help, Ruby. Ruby says hi.
She's back.
Yep, she must have decided she needed to come and check on me and make sure everything was kosher. And she went on a walk. You'd think like a long walk. They went on a hike. You'd think she'd be sleeping. Apparently not. I don't know why I want to use these. So yeah, I was going to ask. I think Carrie and Carol, remind me, because I think we might have asked on the last craft with me, and we knew Meg was coming, but we asked did we ask what other things they wanted us to work on in the future? Because we have November, and then I think we're kind of bouncing some ideas around for December, but help me out here. Am I losing my mind? Am I making that up? Either one of you? Uh-oh. Did we lose them?
We might have. Okay, I see a question from Sarah. Yes, can you see this okay? This is Avery. I get these in a pack of 6 on Amazon for like $7 maybe. I've had 3 or 4 brands, and this is my favorite.
I show that they're still there, but I don't hear them.
I don't even. Y'all heard
Here.
that you can use hand sanitizer to get glue off your hands. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to use a whole lot, but it does work. I had a little accident the other day. Well, not an accident. I was filling my glue. And I kind of lost sight of what I was doing, and I ended up and then all over my hands, and I was trying to like scrape it back into the bottle, and and it I have hand sanitizer right here that I keep, and it worked great. Took it right off. Carol, you might want to go out and come back in again. I'll watch for you.
Yeah, John is commenting on the cookbook. This was at the same estate sale where the piano came from, and I got it because it made me hungry too. I had never seen this one before.
Let's see what happens. And Carrie, I wonder if we can't hear Carrie either. I don't know if she can hear us. Where? What happens? Okay, there's Carol again. I can hear someone typing, so I think it might be Carol. I don't know. Carol?
Hello, I'm back. I wasn't
Ooh.
typing.
Okay, so that wasn't you. So I don't know. We can't hear Carrie though.
Oh, that's weird. I all of a sudden, like, I was hearing like a white noise sound, but I wasn't hearing. I could tell that Meg was answering the question, but I couldn't hear her. So I don't know. I'm
Crazy.
definitely having issues on my microphone device. And I
Crazy.
got off Wi-Fi. I'm using just my, 5G because
Yeah.
I figured the kids are using too much bandwidth.
Was Carrie on two devices, or was she only on one?
Yeah,
I'm here.
She's back.
I'm here. Sorry, I'm stepped
Okay,
away.
there you go. Oh gosh.
No, I stepped away for a second.
Oh, okay.
What I missed? What did y'all do
Well,
without
Carol.
me?
Well, Carol, we lost Carol, so she.
Oh no, I'm good.
I'm back.
She legit, but she's back.
They're all talking about food,
Good.
Carrie.
Food. Let me tell y'all.
Let's see. We're talking about glue and
glue.
food.
Did y'all talk about my gumbo? Because I know y'all can smell it over there. It smells so good.
We haven't, but now you're really going to make us hungry.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Can I tell everybody, now that there's a whole bunch of y'all across the country out there, gumbo does not have tomatoes in it, okay? That is not gumbo. If you like it, that's fine, but don't call it gumbo if it has tomatoes in it. That's sacrilegious.
I think if it's got tomatoes, it's goulash.
Yeah, it's like that's a Creole kind of. A lot of Creole food has a tomato-based stuff, but that's not Cajun gumbo.
We stand corrected. I will never make that mistake. I will never make that mistake.
And there is no such thing as a small pot of gumbo. Okay, there's no such. You cannot do it. If somebody tells you that they made a small pot of gumbo, they lie. The devil is a lie. They are lying. No.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. The USPS does allow you to use dry ice. So if that pot is too big.
Really? Oh, y'all wait then. Hold on.
I'm ready for some gumbo. Straight from Louisiana.
John, you've never had gumbo? Where are you at, girl? That there's no gumbo. That is not a life. What are you talking about?
Meg, just to make sure, can you still hear us and we can hear you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm paranoid now.
Teresa, my friend Teresa has never. My soul sister has never had gumbo. Oh, no.
I haven't either, Carrie. Sorry.
Carol.
Oh.
Well,
As
what?
much as you travel, you've never had gumbo?
No. Does it usually have seafood in it?
It can.
It can.
Yeah, it doesn't have to.
Okay.
No, I have, like, today my gumbo is chicken and sausage.
Oh, that sounds heavenly. No, my husband's allergic to anything that lives in water, and so I sometimes
Yeah.
think that limits our choices, but
I
we're
remember
really
you saying that.
adventurous eaters. So, when we get our little van fixed up, I'm coming for some chicken
Come
and
on,
sausage
girl.
gumbo.
Look at how many people look.
We
Johnny,
have
you
a-
live in Florida and you've never had gumbo? Like, are you like in like the Miami-Dade area or something? Because I grew up in the Panhandle and I knew what gumbo was when I was in Florida. Look at how many people have never had gumbo. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to make a pot just for all y'all. Lord have mercy.
You're gonna have to do the Cooking with Carrie channel.
It's true.
Maybe that's what we should do in November, and it'll be crafty
Oh,
chat kitchen stuff. We've been talking about it.
Oh my goodness. Gumbo and potato salad. The two go hand in hand. Absolutely.
But Bonnie's being a rebel, and she said her gumbo recipe has tomatoes. So
Bonnie, it's not
Oh,
gumbo.
no.
Sorry, Bonnie, where you live at? Who's your No, wait, I
She's
got
coming
one.
for you.
Bonnie, who's your mama in them? Because they did not raise you right, girl. I'm sorry.
Donna's in Mississippi. They ought to know how to make a gumbo, right?
I don't know. They also think in Mississippi that they have a Mardi Gras and they don't.
Oh, they're having some smackdown
Sorry,
in the
Jonna. Sorry, I'm just teasing. Y'all know I love you. I'm just teasing.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well,
Stephanie
I threw up a
said
comment.
we could add Carol's gumbo recipe to our cookbook journals.
That's right.
My recipe? Not my recipe. I don't have a gumbo recipe. Different Carol?
No, I think she meant Carrie.
Oh, Carrie.
Carrie, yeah.
Yeah, see, that happened. Sorry, we didn't plan that. And my parents called me Carrie growing up, so it would have been even funnier if it had stayed that way.
Oh,
Teresa threw out a challenge a while back.
That sounds fun.
She might need to expound on it in the comments a little more what her idea is, but I think she wants to do like a throwdown at a live crafting chat, which means she might need to come on and be a guest.
Hey, let me tell you, Teresa, I'm all for that. You come be a guest.
Might be kind of fun to give a topic and then you have to
put a quick folio together. I don't think that was supposed to be out. I think it's supposed to be put.
Jonna made the mistake of saying she liked sweet cornbread. I don't know, John. I like sweet cornbread too. Listen, I don't think there's anything wrong with a box of Jiffy myself. Okay, so yeah, you can take my Southern card away from me if you want to, but I'm okay with Jiffy cornbread.
I like Jiffy cornbread too.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Jiffy.
No.
I made my own recipe for sweet corn spoon bread.
Ooh, what is that?
It's kind of like a cross between like a sweet cornbread and a corn pudding kind of thing. I don't know how to explain.
Really?
And it's made with Jiffy.
You know what that sounds like? That kind of sounds like a corn casserole.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can't really cut it into a slice, and so you just kind of spoon it out on the plate, but it's really good. I mean, it's not runny. It's not runny.
Hey, Borland, my recipe is basically this. I go to the store and I buy the already made roux off the shelf. It's called Carrie's roux, so technically I made it, okay? That's what I tell you. That's how I make my gumbo.
Meg, do you
Oh,
have a
look,
southern
and Stephanie
specialty?
said,
Oh, sorry,
sorry.
Carrie. I was
Sorry,
asking Meg.
Carol.
It's okay. I was asking Meg if she had a southern specialty.
Oh goodness. Well, we do not eat sweet cornbread. That's against the law. We only eat Duke's mayonnaise.
Oh, are you a Duke's Mayo girl?
Yeah, my great granddaddy worked for Duke's, so we
He
have.
did?
Yep.
I'm a
Yep.
blue plate person. I don't know if I've ever had Duke's, but I keep hearing people talk about it.
No sugar in it because I like cornbread. Mayonnaise should not be sweet.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. I don't like sweet mayo. Mm-mm.
Yep. What?
Casserole.
Thank you, Stephanie.
I think that's nationwide. My husband said sweet potato casserole, but I guess maybe depending on where we live, we put different things on top.
But hubby
Oh.
made the best chocolate cake, so now he has that duty from now on, right?
Yep. Yep.
So
He made your son's birthday cake, so he's got that from now on.
So
Yep.
when you say sweet potato casserole, is that like with like brown sugar and marshmallow? Like that? Is that what or is it?
Yeah, like
sweet?
you whip the sweet potatoes and then we like put marshmallows on mine, but if you're like deep south, like Georgia,
it's the crunchy top.
Yeah, it's the pecans, and I say
Oh.
Yeah, it's the pecans and brown sugar and all that goodness on the top, baked crunchy.
Oh, my husband
Okay.
said pecans, so we have a pecan battle every time we talk about that.
What is he says pecan?
He says pecan, I say pecan.
Okay, well, a pecan is LeSueur's peas. That is not a pecan. Tell him I said so, Meg. It's pecan, not pecan.
That's right.
Outvoted.
Well, I guess I don't like sweet potatoes, and I don't like them, in a casserole. But the way that Meg explained it, I think I might be totally on board.
Mm-hmm.
That just sounds delish.
Okay, so I worked in a Southern meat and three. Do y'all know what a meat and three is?
No.
Yeah, I kind of do, but go ahead, Meg.
Yeah, that was my very first job. I worked in a meat and three restaurant. So you pick a meat and three vegetables, and it's like $5.95. So I used to sneak in the kitchen and watch them make stuff because these were my boss's grandmother's recipes. But I took note, and he made his sweet potatoes with crushed pineapple, raisins, shredded coconut.
Wow.
He put all that in, and then he topped it with marshmallows. And I made it one time for Thanksgiving, and I thought my grandma was going to disown me because it's, She came up to me afterward and said, "You can make that every year. That was the best sweet potato casserole I've ever had."
Aw.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet. I love that.
Yeah, I might have to just give it a try.
I love sweet potatoes, and I do them every year for Thanksgiving in the Dutch oven. Well, first I bake them in the fire pit, and then I slice the baked ones, and you pan fry them so that they get a little caramelized on the edges with just a little sprinkle of brown sugar and garam masala, which is a Indian spice, but think it's the warm spices like pumpkin spice, right?
Yeah.
It's not like spicy curry spice, right? And then those go back in the Dutch oven and get reheated right before we eat. And they don't need marshmallows or pecans. They just they get eaten up.
Yeah.
Bye, Jen.
Bye, Jen.
Yeah, I've never been a big sweet potato fan. Even like sweet potato fries, no thank you. Like, I don't know. I just don't care for them. But
everybody's got their own taste, that's for sure.
yeah, and I think I'm not a huge the marshmallow thing on the sweet potatoes also probably is a deterrent for me, but I don't know. You add all those other yummy things like pecans and I'm in. I'm all in. Um okay, so we need to ask another question, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Okay, because we have one more giveaway before our night is over. Um do we have a question we were gonna ask?
I text Miss
Well,
Gumbo over there with coming up with one. But I think she might have
Oh,
gotten
oh
distracted.
no, I'm sorry.
I,
Hey, I do have a question. But I don't see your text. I'm sorry, I don't see it.
No,
Miss
no,
Mama.
no. We
no,
were
she said she
talking
tapped.
about it.
Oh,
We
oh, oh.
we
I do have a thought though.
yes.
Maybe everybody could say what their favorite food is since we're talking about food.
But they have to say hashtag retro.
Hashtag retro, and
Yeah.
then name your favorite food.
Okay, that's cool. I go with it. And we should say, how many of you want us to do a cooking challenge next month?
There's a question. Okay. Sarah says, are you team turkey or team ham for Thanksgiving?
Team turkey all the way.
I'm
So
team both.
if you don't have an answer for favorite food, you could put team turkey or team ham or team
That's
both.
But make sure you start it with retro.
Oh
Hashtag
yeah.
retro.
Oh yeah, it's up there. You ain't got tacos.
Yeah, I prefer both on Thanksgiving. And my mom,
Yeah, my son-in-law and my daughter are very disappointed if there's not ham.
yeah.
My husband is the turkey maker.
Yeah, I just like a tiny bit of turkey on Thanksgiving, but I like ham. But usually we have ham on Easter.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all do sweet ham? Do you do like the pineapples and brown sugar ham, or do you do just like regular ham, smoked ham, or honey ham?
I do any kind of ham. It doesn't matter to me. I love it.
My husband makes we have an orchard and he makes all the jam from I'll pack and freeze fruit all summer, and then sometime around now he starts making jam once the weather cools off, and he makes the best pomegranate jam, and our son-in-law puts that on the ham. Ham on
Oh.
jam.
I've seen people, and I want to say that I had tried this one time at one of those. What are those steak houses that they just kind of walk around with the meat on the sticks?
Oh, Brazilians.
The
Yeah.
Brazilian. I've had that one time at one of those restaurants, and it was really very good. Surprisingly, it surprised me at how good it was.
The last time we ate at a Brazilian steakhouse, they char roasted white cheddar and put spicy honey on it.
White cheddar and spicy honey. Okay, I would try that.
Like a sweet combo.
Yeah, it was
I would
good.
try that. All right.
That does sound good.
Anybody
Now
else
I'm
getting
starving.
hungry?
I know. I'm like, I think Dave's making chicken marsala for dinner.
Oh.
That's like one of my favorites. I love that. I make that too. It's so good. I love it.
Well, I said, I don't. He's never made it to my knowledge, but I said, honey, I thawed out chicken yesterday. Demi didn't want to eat it last night. I said, so we have chicken, and I opened up the tomato paste, and there's a whole can, and I only used 1 tablespoon in the schnitzel sauce stuff that I made yesterday. So there's your goal. Make something, please.
Here's your
Oh,
ingredient list. Now
then
go forth and prosper.
yep, you have two things: chicken and paste, tomato paste. And then he called me and said, "Hey, do we?" Asked if I had a something whipping cream or something, and he said, "I'm making chicken marsala," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm not gonna complain." I am. If anybody is paying any bit of attention to what I'm doing, this is the most random journal putting together I've ever done in my life. Like
I've
I'm
been
adding
watching.
page,
I think it looks fabulous. What are you talking about? It
but I'm
does.
all over the place. I'm like adding pages, and then I'm like, oh, I think I'll do some pockets, and I'm like, oh, let's make a piece of ephemera. I usually don't do that.
I'm stepping away for a sec because I got to grab a charger for my microphone.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, no problem. You know what? I was thinking about my next project. I have two projects. Well, I actually probably have more than that are just sitting waiting to be finished, but I don't feel like touching them because I
yeah.
want to start something new. Do y'all do that? Do y'all do that? I feel like I'm bipolar with that kind of stuff. Good Lord. Why
You're
do I
not.
do that? Like I start stuff and then I like just don't touch it for a long time because I want to do something different.
I mean, that fairy journal I think is over 2 years old, and I still haven't. I
Oh, I
still
don't
haven't
feel
finished
so
it.
bad. Oh
Yeah.
man, because there's such a part of me, and I've said this before. You know, there's such a part of me that has always been a if you start it, you have to finish it kind of person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just is innate within me. But and sometimes I feel guilty about not going back to it. But if I try to go back to those journals that I'm not in the mood for, then it's like I'm not putting my heart into it.
Yep.
It's like I'm just finishing it to finish, and it just doesn't come out right.
Mm-hmm.
But I am thinking about. I have two little golden books that have been in my collection for a little while. Uh, One is Dr. Dan, and one is Nurse Nancy. And y'all know that I work in healthcare, and so I'm thinking about starting those next. I ordered some paper. Now this is going to hinge on what this paper looks like because I didn't see it in the store. So depending on what it's supposed to come in the next day or so, what it looks like, I may start those next because it's just something near and dear to my heart. So
I think I don't know how Meg feels about this, but I think that um having several projects like she's doing all of those binder journals right now, and she's got a lot of them. So for me, I like I like um a little variety. I don't want to do the same thing, but I also have a strong desire to finish what I start, like you
Mhm.
said,
mm-hmm.
Carrie. And so what I find is if I have, these 5 journals and I've got everything out and then I get to pick on
Mhm.
any one of those things, and I don't feel like I get burnout on it. But if I'm only working like that, the fairy journal is a great example. And I was so excited about it. And I'd been sourcing and saving and, getting things for that for so long. And then once I started it, I wasn't having fun. And so I think you got to be able to say, it's okay to give yourself some grace and just,
Mm-hmm.
put it back on the shelf. And someday maybe you will be inspired to finish it. And maybe you never will, and that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I think Angela, you make such a good point. I never quite heard it put like that, but I do think that junk journaling has taught me to give myself a little more grace than I ever have. Because
Mhm.
I am the hardest person on myself, and I always have been. So I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And
What do
listen,
you?
I pulled this quote because I want to read it to you now that you brought up your fairy journal. Listen to this. I just got this book. I haven't even shared it online yet. But it's a quote by J.M. Barrie. And it says this: when the first baby laughed for the first time, The laugh broke into 1,000 pieces, and they all went skipping about, and that was the beginning of fairies.
Oh,
Isn't that cute?
that is cute. Do you want my fairy
Uh-huh.
journal? You can add that to it. I'll send
Yeah,
it.
I'm actually gonna send you that page. It'll be on its way, so you can have it's a beautiful illustration too on that page. I'll send it to you.
Oh, see, now I'm gonna have to finish that journal. I did look
No,
at it.
no pressure on that at all. I just made me think of it because I just read that quote. I just got this book yesterday, and it was the first page that I opened up to, and I read it. And fairies are not my thing, like I've never been kind of drawn
Right.
to it or wanted to. I love when people do those journals, but it's just not been my thing. But it's funny that we're having this conversation. Isn't that funny how that happens?
Mm-hmm.
Meant
True.
to be, meant to be.
Meg, what are you finished it all, or I mean, have you put up journals that you just weren't into?
Yes. Well, when I make a journal that I really find myself liking, I go ahead and put aside stuff to make one for me, and I put it in a tote. And I probably have 5 totes of unfinished ones that I'd like to have myself.
Oh wow, that's a great idea.
Meg, I'm surprised. That is awesome. Now I don't feel so bad.
No, and so that's part of the reason why I did those kits and put them in my shop really quick this week, because I was burnt out on cookbook journals. I was like, I'm done. My eyes are going cross. I need to do something different. So, I decided to do those real quick, and I did it so fast. I ended up forgetting things I wanted to put in them, and I realized that after I mail them off, I'm like, oh, dang it. I was going to put this and this and this in there.
Oh,
But
I'm sure they're beautiful and they love them just how they are.
yeah, it's like when you're in the candle store and you start smelling all the candles and they all start to smell the same. And they used to put those little jars of coffee beans to cleanse your nose. That's kind of what I do. If I get burnout, I'll do one day where I just do one, like make pockets all day, and then I'll go back to the project.
That's a good idea.
Smart.
Hey, Meg, I was going to ask you. So you have a kind of the beginner series. Is there going to be more installments to that?
Yes, there should be. I've got a Post-it note, well, somewhere on this desk of things that people have requested that I do. And someone requested a tour of my craft room now that I've moved stuff around, so I need to do that.
People love those.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been watching intently because, whether between organization, in fact, Angela did something. What was the one that you did? It was a couple of years ago, and I just watched it the other night because whether it's organization or, new craft room tour, whatever. I've just been watching intently because y'all know I'm getting ready to do this remodel here. So I'm trying to get as much inspiration and ideas as I can.
I can't remember well, I did one about just using the space, whether it's, not in a craft room or otherwise.
Right.
And then I did one of my craft room, but my craft room, it changes you guys all know, it's the running joke when I say on almost every video, oh yeah, I just organized today.
Well, you know what I think is so funny, Meg, you even said it the other day on your channel is, I think a lot of us, I know Hazel has talked about it. I've talked about it, becoming a slave to your stuff and being more intentional about what you go out and thrift and what you bring home. And, because you get to a point where you don't need anything, not that there's really a need for it, but you know what I'm saying, as you are building your collection to do this craft and this art, then there comes a time where you just like, okay, now I need to slow down, or I need to become more intentional about what I'm bringing home.
Yep.
Yeah,
I messed it all up yesterday because I went thrifting and I said, one thing I'm not going to bring home is Christmas stuff, and that's about 50% of what I bought.
Yeah, isn't that funny how God laughs, isn't it? Look, well, Sandy said in the chat, no way, Carrie, I need all this stuff. No, I mean,
Well,
it's true. I say that same thing, Meg, and I will go out there with, first of all, I say it, and then I go to the thrift store. And whenever I get in the thrift store, then I find all the books that are like 1940s, 1916, all these books that never cross my path. So, of course, I have to bring them home.
Well,
yeah,
right.
you don't know what you need until you see it exists.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, Meg said something the other day that she picked something up. I can't remember what it was, a piece of ephemera that she found on the floor at the thrift store. And
Oh yeah, the little pig.
Here it
yes,
is.
and
Yes.
I just started chuckling out loud, and I'm like, I am among friends. Like, I am shameless when it comes to going to a thrift store, and I'm like, I can only these knees can only squat down for so long. I'm plopping my butt down if I have to. I will pick things up off of the floor that are just onesie twosies, and I'm like, I love Meg for saying that.
Hmm.
It was
I do
good
too. I
therapy.
do too. It's so real. It's so
Yep.
real, though, right? I mean, don't we all kind of look at different things? I will tell you, whenever, like at work, for example, I was, this is so random. I'm so sorry. But I was unpacking some, because I'm a secretary at heart. It's what I do. I don't care what you call me. It's still secretarial. I was unpacking some labels, and they happened to come packed with this stiff kind of cardboard type stuff in it, like an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And I was like, oh, I can use that. Let me take it home.
Did you see that? Did you just see what Sandy said?
What did Sandy say? I'm going to try to do a haul video. Oh my gosh. Y'all, if Sandy does a haul video, I'm doing a community post because everybody's got to go see it.
That's right.
Thank you,
For
Sandy.
sure.
Thank you, Sandy.
So for those of you who don't know, Sandy is our moderator on our Thursday live sales, and she has been a friend for a very long time. She was actually live on there with her voice on Thursday. It was lovely.
Yeah.
But we all miss Carrie, of course. But we have been gently harassing her.
Yep. That's
I know that might be an oxymoron, but I'm just going to say it like that anyway. That she really needs to, she has a YouTube channel. She needs to do some videos, and I think I think she might be going to the dark side, friends. Look
Sandy
forward to.
yeah, I'm sorry. Sandy not only has a YouTube channel, she has a website, and it's wonderful.
Yes. And Sandy is also going to be a seller on the Makers Market.
No way! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Which, by the way, for those of you who are here that have already joined the Makers Market, just for the community aspect, or if you wish to buy something along your time with us, thank you. And for all of those of you who are hitting that apply button and willing to join us to be a vendor, thank you. It is going to be great. And I was hopeful I would still tomorrow be able to do a live about all of the questions and answers, but I want to do it justice for anybody who's thinking about being a seller on the Makers Market. I should say a maker on the Makers Market. So I'm going to hold off until I really feel like I have all my notes and questions ready. So it will probably be next week. So look for that. And if there's one day that you guys feel is better than another, our weekend's better, because I want everybody to be able to ask all the questions. But I just appreciate all the support. And Carrie and I have been, Carol and I have been making sure all of the kinks are worked out, and she's been listing some things to test it for me. So thank you for that too, Carol. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We are at 1 hour and 49 minutes, and so we usually try to keep these at about 2 hours just to respect all of your time and our guests. So Carol, is this a good time for us to do the second drawing?
Yeah, I think it's an awesome time. Does everybody put in hashtag retro?
All right. So I'm giving away this little journal cover, and you can make with it whatever you wish, and a little work basket inside, because you know how I love my work baskets. One work basket is months of enjoyment. So let me hop up here and get back to screen sharing. And giveaway tool. And here we go. Here we go. Who is going to be the lucky winner? Slows down and it has you. Sierra, congratulations.
Sierra, yay. That's awesome.
Oh, that is awesome. Now, I know this is going to sound dumb that I have to write down that but there's a possibility I might not remember if I don't write it down. So congratulations, Sierra. Oh, I don't think maybe I do have your address. Just in case.
You don't.
Okay. I think I do have it, but if I don't, I know where to find it. So congrats on that. All right. So did I miss it? Do you have any ideas? Well, somebody said we need to do a that really would be kind of fun, like they throw out a topic and we try to make something.
I think that would be quite a fun challenge, but it would be hard maybe that would challenge your craft room organization. Like, is everything at your fingertips? Maybe we'd have to have some kind of a spinning wheel with, I don't know. I'm trying to think how would you prepare for that?
Well, I think that's the point that Teresa's trying to make, that we don't. We're pushing ourselves out of our envelopes, and so they just come up. I think that would be we need to think that through, and maybe we need to engage Teresa a little bit more on the offside, on the sidelines, to see what her idea is, because I think we can have a good time with that.
Can we do a poll in StreamYard where people vote for something, and then we have to, we put up 4 things and then they have to vote for what we have to use?
Yeah, I think we can.
I think that'd be fun.
I better write that question down to ask the StreamYard people, because I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like a poll. It's only the one that's the most organized of this crew who's going to say, now, wait a minute. I'm like, hey, whatever, just throw it out there. I'll go for it. And Carrie's probably like, well, I need to analyze this first. And Carol's like, no, and Carol's going, I want all of the details, and I want to make sure exactly I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, listen, Carol is like the most detailed. I'm telling y'all, oh my gosh, I want to be Carol when I grow up. I'm telling you, because she doesn't miss a beat at all.
There we go. I got it on my list of things to do.
Hi, Tammy Renee Walker. I see you popping.
Yeah.
Hi, Tammy. Tammy, I think you were there. Maybe you weren't, but the other Tammy at Sweet Tea, or Texas Sweet Tea Treasures, asked the question, and I don't know if you heard it last time, that October 29th, I think it's at 5 Central Time. I don't know. It's at 5 or 6. I need to go back and look. I am doing a hard goods, vintage, and antique drop sale, a vintage fall and Christmas. So I know that you like those, and I haven't done one for a long time, so I wanted to make sure you knew about it. And it's just pre-recorded. It's a hop where they go from one to the other. So
I wanted to go back to my question to Meg and see if there was more answer to that question about she mentioned possibly another beginner tutorial for the craft room
Yeah.
tool.
Mm-hmm.
What other things you might have up your sleeve, Miss Meg?
Okay. So the other two things I have written down that someone asked about is a glossary of junk journal terms, like vocabulary.
That is awesome.
And then the other thing is for people who want to try to sell them, how to estimate your material cost and sell journals, including copyright.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's probably going to be like a 4-part video.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made some bad, big copyright mistakes at the beginning, and had some people lovingly tell me, "Oh, you can't. That's beautiful, but you can't sell that."
Yeah.
And Carol, you have some type of formula that you go by, don't you? When you sell, like you, of course, Carol has it down to a science, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It is kind of complicated to try and explain in a sentence or two, but it basically is a formula for certain materials based on your sourcing price and the time it takes you to do it, and you have to consider the basic supply cost, and so I just kind of figure in a thing for that. And then because I do custom journals, I allow them to choose how it's bound, and it's basically by time, because if I'm going to do a hidden spine journal, it's gonna take more time than if I just stitch them into the spine and things like that. But
Okay.
yeah, I kind of have a formula too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is smart. I mean, because I don't really think in those terms, but I mean, it is, if you get into it, it's kind of, I think Hazel had said it one time, it's kind of like you get to a point where, yes, I love the craft and I'm doing it and I'm making these journals, but, do I need 27 journals? What am I going to do with them? So you have to kind of decide, do I want to start selling? Do I, whatever. And I
Yeah.
think, is it Trudy? Is it Trudy at Little Creative Cottage? Is that her channel name?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
She used to donate, or maybe she still does even, to like a women's shelter, which I thought was really a very interesting idea. Is
I
that
think that
something that you could also, because for somebody like me, I'm not selling anything that I do, but whenever I saw her talk about that, I was like, you know what, that is that may be an avenue that I would be interested in taking, is just donating kind of what I have, because it's very therapeutic, right?
Right. I know Lori from Enchanted Dreams. I know she's done some donations like through her church.
I did not know that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So I think
neat.
that's a great thing to do, and especially even if you live close or near a prison, for example, where there's a women's
Right.
prison, a fantastic a way to, because they do a lot of work while they're in,
Yeah.
behind bars, and so why
Exactly.
not have
Or
a beautiful.
even like a recovery house, like a drug recovery,
Yes.
inpatient
Yeah.
treatment programs, things like that, because they teach you about mindfulness and journaling and things
Yeah.
like that when you're in those programs. So that's another avenue, Angela. I didn't think about that, but that's something I may look into.
Yeah.
There's one more idea that I had that I think I would love to challenge other people to do it with me, because I think it would be so fun. I know y'all remember Show and Tell. I don't know if they still have it, but I wrote this one on a pink Post-it note. So part of journaling and art of any kind is inspiration. And so I thought maybe it would be fun to do a video of things from our childhoods that inspire us back then and still inspire us now.
Oh, I like.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that.
I just stuck that over here to remember too. That I don't know if that'd be a 101 or not, but maybe it would.
Can you read it? Can you read it again? Just how you. I just had a thought.
Childhood that inspired me then, inspire me now as junk journal inspiration.
I like that.
Hashtag now and then
That's
inspo.
I was just thinking now and then. That was exactly what I was thinking. I
Well,
think that's a great one.
do it as an open collab.
Maybe I should. I haven't
Yeah,
done one
you
of these
should.
yet.
I would totally join that.
Okay.
Me too.
Me 3.
There you go.
Y'all are
You
not
got it.
leaving me out of that. We're good.
No, nope. Hey, before we go, I did want to give a couple love a little channel shout outs too. I have a couple of things in. Oh, you know what? Well, I got them right here, but they're not going in this journal. Um, we already talked about Miss Tammy and Jimmy doing their things, but these are some of the pieces that she sent. She was my Christmas in July swap partner, and they're beautiful, but they're staying at my house, so that's nice. But they're not going in. But I wanted to give her a shout out. And this is something that Kara from Paper Confessions with Kara Mia sent me. And I think it's really cute. And she used the vintage fabric. It was too big to put in the journal I'm working on now. But I think I'm going to replicate a smaller version of it and then actually put the holes in the binder um, with something like this. I liked how she did this with the little buttons. And then I'm also going to be using these. And if you do not know who
Oh,
who
look.
Celeste is, yeah,
Yes.
her work
Yes.
is, I mean, I can't say enough great things about her. And it's
Absolutely
just,
outstanding.
yeah. And the
Amazing.
way she brings it to the table is unbelievable. But she gifted me, I bought some things and she gifted me a whole lot of goodness. And so I'm going to be using a lot of that in there too. But Woodland Inspired is Celeste. So go check her out and her Etsy shop too. But the hashtag love a little channel, I just wanted to give a shout out to those 3 ladies. Now I'll lovingly put my pieces back that are not going in the journal. You know, Tammy, I look at those all like almost every day, so they bring me joy. Um, Meg, I want to truly, truly thank you. I know we've been trying to do this for a while, and you know, life's been busy, and for you to take the time, and for your husband to help you, and for your kiddos to be give you up for a couple of hours on a Saturday night. We really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. And um, you are just somebody that we love and respect um, and have a true friendship with. And you're a great example of what this community is all about. So thank you.
Same to you guys. Thank y'all so much. I'm so excited to be here today.
Well, we hope you come back again.
Of course I will.
There you go.
Yeah, and I would say you were one of my first connections where it felt like a friendship was forming on YouTube, and I really treasure that. And I love that I found somebody else who loves the things from their childhood and shares memories, even if you're not memory keeping on screen like I am. I get that from the things you talk about when you're crafting, and I love it.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny because I think those that we connect with were like, gosh, I mean, I remember saying to Meg, I really wish we lived closer because we could share craft supplies. And we like there it would literally be like walking into one another's craft room because everything she had is, things I had. And I was like, I love this girl.
Yeah.
Well, Meg is actually going to plan a 2-day retreat for all of us.
Oh, yes.
That's going to happen.
My brother and sister-in-law have a barn, like a event venue for weddings, and I'm like, we could
Well,
walk in the first day, and we could come to the barn the second day and make.
That's right. That's
Now,
right.
I will tell you, Meg, if you need help, I am actually a professional event planner and have a venue. So,
Ooh.
see, you could just host and get your brother to host the barn, and then I'll plan all of the logistics. And winning.
Yep. That would be so
I don't think she's convinced, but just like Sandy at Wilhelmina, maybe if we just gently keep on.
here's what I was, I have sort of a warped sense of humor sometimes. I was like, what if we all go thrifting together and we all see the same thing and we all try to go for it?
It's to the death at that point, okay? There's no friendship involved at that point. Sorry, guys.
Each man for themselves, each woman for themselves.
I will to the death for a little golden book. No way.
Angela would get in the middle of the thrift store and start rattling off auctioneer style.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Here, 250, 250, 350.
I am going to practice. I'm going to have Dave kind of knows how to do it. I'm going to practice it on the backside. And one of these days I'm going to surprise y'all and do it. But I will tell you, I've thrifted with a lot of other artists. Like I've shopped with Carol from Lily Rose Group. And I just kept saying, hey, I think you need this. And she'd say, don't you need it? And I'm like, no, I think you need. So I'm really a good enabler, and I'll back off away from, buying, and I'll just help other people buy a lot. So you don't have to worry about me.
I just shopped with her, and the only thing that we bought the same was something that I sent Carrie, and she bought it for herself.
Aw. That's awesome.
So we were but we went somewhere where there was, 10 things of each item. So it wasn't thrifting.
Yeah.
Susie, where I live in South Carolina. So
who wouldn't want? I mean,
yeah. I mean, why don't you go to a South Carolina beach just stop by me on the way? Do we have some beautiful beaches?
Tammy, that was so sweet.
Aww.
Well, I appreciate you, Tammy, for being so supportive and always, always being here. It means a lot. You guys are awesome. Well, I hope that you're just doing something exciting and fun, and that you get something like gumbo or chicken marsala for dinner tonight, everyone. If not, I hope that the pizza delivery guy is kind to you and you get some good pizza. But thank you all for being here. We appreciate you very much. Thank you again, Meg. As always, Carol and Carrie, I couldn't do this without you, and I wouldn't do it without you because it's much more fun. So look for our future date for November, and we will all see you soon. Cheers.
Bye, guys. See y'all later.